For our ambassador to Washington, there are some parallels between the challenges of the 1950s and those in the 21st century. Parallels that arguably make our alliance more important than ever.
Of course, the ANZUS Treaty sort of came about during a period of Cold War. The irony is today that we're again in a period of geostrategic competition, which has added a further dimension to the alliance. A few years ago, there were some people who thought, oh, well, the way the world is shaping up, maybe the alliance doesn't have the relevance it had. And yet, the events of recent years, I think, have underlined the relevance of the alliance. But the point we always make about the alliance is that, you know, as the Prime Minister would say, we carry our own water. We don't sort of say that the US or others have got to carry us completely. We're doing a lot for our own defence. We're doing a lot in our own region. But we are stronger. There's a force multiplier when we work together. What we have at the moment is different to the Cold War. One of the reasons it's different is China, unlike the Soviet Union, is a lot more technologically advanced across a whole set of areas. And this means it's a very, very different proposition to what the Soviet Union was, which was very strong in certain specific areas, but not across the board. China is much stronger across the board than the Soviet Union was. But that's why this is not about confrontation or containment. It's about working out ways of cooperating together and pushing back in areas where there's been overreach. And you've seen the phenomenon of wolf warrior diplomacy, but to some extent, we have got to sort of see through that and just work out the areas where there needs to be competition, where we can cooperate, and where we need to push back. Because we have an obligation to persuade the Chinese that they're better off cooperating rather than seeking to create a world order in their own image.
For former Ambassador Joe Hockey, China's rise is more alarming to the United States than any threat posed by the Soviet Union during the Cold War.
Well, the United States has never been challenged by a single nation from both a military perspective and an economic perspective. They've either had military threats like Japan or Germany or more recently terrorists or Iran or whatever the case might be. But they've never had one nation that has challenged them economically as well as militarily. And so for the United States, this is a very significant tipping point because they find it difficult to accept that China will be a larger economy and may have a bigger military sometime over the next 20 to 30 years. And so they are still finding their way in how to handle that situation, as is China.